Hello, Hana the Suburban witch here, and today I am talking about 5 things that I wish I knew when I was deconstructing from Christianity. Specifically, Pentecostal, evangelical style of Christianity. Before we start, I must let you know there is a storm brewing. There is some thunder that's going to come out, and my neighbor is playing some music, and I think a truck is reversing. I apologize if any of that is going to annoy you, but I'm going to push through because I feel inspired. So if you're new here, I identify as someone who is ex-vangelical. That means I was an evangelical Christian, like intensely so, and now I am not. As I'm sure you can tell from my channel name, etc., I now identify as someone who calls themselves a witch. Part of the reason I use that word is because it directly sort of goes up against the church in a way.
Witch, you're a witch!
Now, I want to preface this by saying this is not anti-Christian, and this is not meant to push you away from Christianity. It's just the things I wish I knew. And there is this element here that you could still go back to Christianity. It just might be a different style to what you were raised in. Okay? So don't think you have to turn off because I'm not going to be preaching witchcraft to you. Okay? That's not my jam. All right. So it was a long journey. It was a hard journey. It took, I'm still deconstructing, and it has been, I think it's been about 18 years. Oh, wow.
I guess that makes me an old lady to you.
I think it's been about 18 years of me moving away and deconstructing. Now, it doesn't happen overnight. I promise you that. It does not happen overnight. But if you're, wherever you are on your journey, here are the 5 things that I wish I knew when I was beginning. Let me pass this on to you. Number 1, it is okay to distance yourself from the people that you love. I wish someone had given me that permission, because in my mind, I didn't want to lose my friendships, my family, community, and the connections that you make in the church can be your entire life, and they can be incredibly powerful and deep and meaningful to you. They can also really hinder your exploration of deconstructing or exploring your spiritual and religious beliefs. They can absolutely hinder it and draw it out a hell of a lot longer. I wish I knew that it was okay to take some time away from them, to not engage in talk about how was church on the weekend. That it was okay to explore this on my own and not feel the need to talk to them about it. Because if they're in the church still, they're not going to be on your side in this. They're probably not going to support you in understanding the things you need to understand or asking the questions you want to ask. So I wish I knew it was okay to distance myself. Just finding some space. Number 2 of the things I wish I knew. I wish I knew that I didn't have to have all of the answers to know it wasn't for me. I still don't have all of the answers. I have Christians all the time. Trust me, my content it brings it to me. I have Christians all the time asking me all these bizarre hypotheticals. Well, what if this happened? What if Jesus was standing right in front of you and this happened? Well, that hasn't happened. And I don't need to have an answer to their random hypotheticals to know that Christianity is not for me. I don't need to know the answer to why a Bible story makes me feel uncomfortable or what the theologians say it is to know that it makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't need to understand all of the ins and outs of scripture to know that it's not right, or to just explore that it might not be right. I had this as a bit of a pushback from a lot of people, and I'm sure you might too, and sometimes it comes from within. But when it comes to exploring your religion, your spiritual beliefs, they are personal to you, not to anybody else. I think it would be very hard pressed to find any Christian who had ever explored another religion in those ways that they say you should explore Christianity. Just saying. So you don't have to have all of the answers to know it's not for you. Number 3, I wish I understood, because it took me a very long time to actually understand this part. I think some part of me knew it, but just didn't understand it properly. That the fear that you feel is manufactured. The fear I felt around questioning things, the fear I felt around exploring other types of spirituality, other religions like I did, the fear of hell, the fear of the rapture and being left behind and making this terrible decision, the fear of the mark of the beast, the fear of sex diminishing who I was as a person and my value, the fear of getting it wrong. All of this is manufactured. The church put it there. The way the church sermons, the way the music, the way the people, the dialogue, all of these things work to put you into that place of fear. That doesn't mean it's not scary. It's still scary. But I think it's really freeing to understand that that fear is not based in anything other than what people have told me or told you. It's manufactured. Just like in this day and age, as a little bit of a hypothetical thing to showcase, not a hypothetical, as a metaphor, I think. In this day and age, we have an idea of what beauty is because we have had that idea manufactured by advertisements, movies, TV, the people around us, the fashions, what we see on billboards. All of that has told us what we're supposed to think and like and find attractive. We know that's not the only way beauty can be shown. We know that. But we've been manufactured to see those things as beauty. This is the same way with fear. We've been manufactured to feel that we're inadequate because of what we see, and the church manufactures you to feel fearful, guilty, and shameful in order to keep you within its grip. So it's not always based in reality. That was a big learning. The fourth thing that I wish I knew when I was deconstructing from Christianity, you are allowed to change your mind. I'm allowed to change my mind. You are allowed to change your mind. And yes, that includes going back to Christianity. It may look a little different to what you were raised in. That's okay. You are allowed to change your mind. Changing your mind is not a bad thing. In fact, it's very brave to change your mind. It is very brave to explore your beliefs. It is very brave to deconstruct. Trust me, it really is. You don't have to feel like once you pick a new religion, pick a new belief, that you have to then stick with it forever. There's nothing that says you have to do that, at least in most countries. So you're allowed to change your mind, move away from Christianity. You're allowed to change your mind and move back if you want. You're allowed to believe whatever you want to believe. That's the beauty of belief. And the very last thing, the fifth thing I wish I knew when I began deconstructing from Christianity is that questioning is healthy. This is a good thing. It is not a sign of the devil.
Hello, I have a question.
We are taught, especially if you grew up in the church, you've been indoctrinated from birth to see Lucifer questioning God, bad, accuser, Satan, fall. And we've put this in our brain that if you question something, you are wrong, you are evil, you're being a Satan, you're being an accuser. Satan in Hebrew means accuser, if you didn't know. A lot of people think Satan is an individual. It's not, it's just a word that means accuser. And if you read the Bible, you will see that many people, not just angelic beings, were also called Satans. Fun little side fact. You're allowed to question. You should question. And you should question any belief and any spirituality that you go forward through. It should align with your values and your ethics, and it should make you feel good, and it should make you a better person. I'm going to round this part out with a quote from one of my favorite books for this topic. It's called Changing Paths by Yvonne Abro. I've done a book review. It's quite detailed, which you can see linked in the description to this episode. I've also chatted with Yvonne on the Witch Talks podcast. You can see that interview here. So Yvonne says, if religion or spirituality makes us more disconnected from other people, less compassionate, less rational, then it is harmful. If on the other hand, it enables us to feel more love and compassion for others and be better able to cope with the sorrowful aspects of life, then it is helpful. And I think that really sums up how we need to approach deconstruction. Oh, the rain has started. I have things on the line. So to end, if this is where you're at in life, if this is the content that you're looking for, I am currently working on a bunch of classes. I'm going to put the link in the description box below. What I'm planning on doing is releasing them as individual classes. All that rain's getting really heavy. And then bundling them all into a course once I've got them all done. So if you want to have all of them, but you also don't want to wait, you can do the classes, and I'm going to give people who've done the classes a big discount on the actual course if they want that later. Otherwise, each class is going to be roughly $50 to $80, depending on how much time and effort is going to go into it. Trust me, these are deep. They're intense. The first class I'm releasing is going to be on the Rapture Doctrine. I'm hoping to release that in the next 2 months. I've written out the script. I've just got to do the filming aspect and a few of the graphics to help along as well. Oh, that rain is very heavy. It's good. It's cleansing. It's cleansing, guys. So I'm going to wrap it up before you can't hear me anymore. I hope this has helped you. Stay tuned, and I will chat with you soon. Have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world today. Goodbye for now.